This is Newcap News with Bart Pediasic.
Good evening. It has finally stopped. After more than 20 centimeters in the area, it's the first heavy snowfall of the season. And as Anna Cannaesta reports, it can be a headache dealing with the snow, but it also offers a chance to be a good Samaritan.
Giving boosts and stuff like that, it's kind of part of it, right? And it's what everybody does out here now.
There was this one vehicle parked on a flat tire and somebody stopped, which was good. I seen that.
And it's these driveways where people are often getting stuck. Night shifts for snow removal have started, and city staff say they are doing their best to keep from plugging driveways.
The snow gate's supposed to pull the snow out. There's so much snow here at this time that when they put the gate, the snow gate fills up and then it spills over. So for long driveways, it's really difficult for the guys to get it all cleaned out of there.
Downtown will be dealt with next week. The main artery highways will be cleaned over the weekend and residential streets on Monday.
One of the reasons we're not going to do try the priority 2s over the weekend is because it is residential areas and a lot of vehicles parked on the street, and we make a bigger mess than we do cleaning it up. It's substantially easier to do it during the day when people are at work.
Lloydminster RCMP say drivers have been good for the most part. There's been 6 accidents in the last 24 hours.
And that's what we see the most. People don't take the extra time to get to where they want to get, and they become rushed and they end up in an accident or in the ditch.
When I get stuck in the ditch or whatever, people have been really generous with their time and helped pull me out.
Anna Cannaesta, Newcap News.
After more than 12 hours of crunching numbers, Cold Lake City Council has a budget drafted and it's ready to go. Following 3 consecutive years of no tax increase, this time there will be. Fraser Snowden has more on what you can expect for 2015.
Because we're trying to find a way to fund it without using operational dollars.
Council had a lot of future expenses to consider when sitting down this time around. Putting their heads together on the numbers, they have settled on a 3.5% tax increase next year.
It's been really good for the residents, but we're long overdue to have a tax increase, and so we're going to have 3.5%, and then the utility bill for water and sewer looks like that's going to be the big hit in Cold Lake.
That number will jump to 6% more for utilities. Mayor Craig Copeland says it's been a long time since they have bumped that up.
This year what we've tried to do is go back to our formula we had a couple of years ago, which was try to get full cost recovery. So, you know, we want to go there. You got to get full cost recovery in utilities, otherwise you keep using your taxes to subsidize your utilities, which isn't a good thing.
And with an operating budget of close to $40 million and capital budget of more than $22 million, Council will be able to prepare more areas in the city for further development.
New second arena and gymnastics at the Energy Center, so that's going to be exciting. We're going to kick off, go to get design on that, and then start construction in 2016. So that's an exciting project. We're going to finish off the fire hall, the South Fire Hall, in 2015.
Copeland says putting it all together is a little different than what you do at home.
It's much more challenging, but it's fun. I mean, the administration does a great job in preparing us. We probably put in about 12 hours altogether. This council has been doing this for many years together, so we're pretty seasoned at all this.
The new budget is set for approval in December. In Cold Lake, Fraser Snowden, Newcap News.
We told you yesterday on Newcap News about a Lloydminster woman and the costs she faces, not only financially but physically, from the medication she takes to help treat her multiple sclerosis. Well, funding is being done by a local organization, but it isn't enough to help cover the costs for all those living with MS. In part 2 of our feature, Action on MS, Estanislao explores the perspective of a primary caregiver and the progress the government has made so far.
I've been blessed with a wonderful company and very, very lucky in business. And so we get by. We have no savings left now, but we'll get by.
It's an ongoing battle for Dynasoft Communications CEO Ian Bull and his wife Karen, who he affectionately calls Dolly. Karen has progressive multiple sclerosis.
Having lots of issues with fatigue, memory, balance, and all those symptoms were just coming to the forefront.
Karen declined an on-camera interview with us, but she was working for Ian's company for 15 years. Unfortunately, as her relapsing remitting MS moved on to progressive MS affecting her work, Ian had no choice but to let her go. Today, she's unable to work, with Ian making sure she's busy at home, but it comes at a cost.
If you don't have a good quality of life, if you're full of stress because you don't know where your next medication is going to come from, right, your quality of life is going to deteriorate. And that's how MS attacks you as well.
There is progress being made faster than ever before. There is no cure, and I don't think you can count on a cure over the next several years, but there is a lot of work being done on that.
Leon Benoit, MP for Vegreville-Wainwright, has been advocating for MS patients in the last few years, including pushing to bringing the chronic cerebrospinal venous insufficiency or the liberation treatment to Canada.
I am somewhat concerned by what I've heard from the government on the trials, because once again it seems like they're setting up to expecting not very positive results, when at the same time we've seen some local people in the Lloydminster and Wainwright areas who've seen some really good results from the treatment.
And while Ian knows the possibility of losing a job to MS is high, he's turned the tables, hiring Nicole Rolfus, looking past her MS, knowing she was the right candidate for the job.
We've worked around her MS, and we have an understanding of each other because we've both been in there, me as the caregiver and dealing with my dolly, and Nicole having to get through her MS as well.
We joke, we make fun of it, and we just have fun. And I think that's an important aspect too, is just to have fun, because it's not the end of the world.
It may not be the end of the world, but both admit the costs for medication is staggering.
Each province has to decide what they're going to cover and how much they're going to cover. I think a real issue is when you get a new pharmaceutical on the market that seems to be offering some real progress, often that isn't covered by the healthcare system until it's very well proven.
The biggest concern is that what if you don't have a health plan? What if you don't have a company health plan? What if you're just working in Tim Hortons or, like a restaurant as a waiter or a waitress and that. All of a sudden you've got a choice. Okay, you can either pay the rent or you can take your medication.
Estanislao, Newcap News.